Welcome to another Friday of love and relationships. So, are you ready for secret number 3? Did you look at secret number 1, number 2, and now we are going to be on the third secret so that we can be able to just keep our love and relationships with just that fire burning, okay? So that we can keep it going and keep it enjoyable, not to just endure or think that just life has just to get by because we are already in it, so you just do with it. No, I would really like it that all women get to live this passionate life and enjoy every moment, because if you are already in it, then make it fun, make it worthwhile, make it enjoyable. And if you make it enjoyable, it'll be for you and for your partner. So let's do this, right? Okay, so secret number 3, I'm gonna get to just make you look at different scenarios and let me know if it has happened to you or not, because often we are always like maybe treating people outside our houses with more respect, like, oh, excuse me, or I'm sorry, or forgive me, or I didn't mean to do that. So how come it's easy to be able to do that outside with people you do not know, but in the house, like you almost like have some sort of attitude that is just not right. I've seen it a little bit often, and has happened once in a while that I get to do that, but I think I ask for forgiveness maybe more easily so that there's no strain going by every day. And I try to teach that the same thing also to my kids, because how you speak to your partner, your kids are watching and listening, so that it's just part of what is causing them so much pain and heartache, be it the shouting and be it the arguments, all the quarrels, all the fighting and all the strife. The children are listening, and they're the ones that are getting even more hurt, more depressed, and you're just sending out violence into their ears and the frustration. So, like, let's say you are very rude and you're like, oh, whatever, or like, no, I don't think so, I don't care. You're simply telling your child that they need to talk to their partners in future the same way. Yet, if you are capable of treating your partner with respect, talking to them as though they count, then you would find that they feel respected. Not to treat them in an arrogant way as though like they're your child or shout at them or talk to them in a manner that is just not acceptable, because it's hurtful. It's not just valuing the other person, and the more you keep fighting, the more apart you're just putting one another and not being able to find common ground to be able to remember how you valued each other at the beginning. A friend the other day told me that fighting is normal in a couple. No, I don't agree. You can have a happy relationship. If you remember, you're both adults. You are both sharing a life together. So, beating or arrogantly talking to your partner, it's just not so acceptable at all. And it's just partly what we are also trying to show our children, that the world can be a better place if you use that. Also just building that clean environment, clean communication, and not having to have arrogance taking place in any way, because it doesn't serve any purpose. And this is what kind of destroys what somebody feels in their heart for you, and you don't want that bitterness being built up against one another and just waiting for time to get by. You almost can wish death upon another partner and everything. We've seen so many cases where a partner ends up killing the other or something of the sort because they're simply just not talking, or like they have built up so much anger, so much bitterness within them. And it just simply starts with just how you treat the other person, how you talk to the other person, how you make them feel. And if you can just try and, change the dimension of all this and put yourself in their shoes, put yourself in their position, and ask for yourself just for a minute, am I happy to be talked to this way? But then why are you doing it in the other sense? So trying to transform this and just talking to each other more in a much better, much more friendlier way would like literally put strife away completely. Trust me. Imagine a scenario where you're going for something outside and you just think about probably yourself, for example, and yet maybe your partner is just probably waiting for you at home or in the park or something of a sort, and you arrive maybe having your own drink or let's say ice cream, and you probably knew you're gonna see the person. You would think, did I ask whether she or he wants something? But you just think about yourself. Have you seen scenarios like that where they're like, oh, I didn't think you need one. Oh, you should have said it. Well, if the person knew that you were going to get something, then they would have had a chance to be able to ask for it, right? Or scenarios where like maybe couples who have been together for like a long time, and it's in the sense of like, you go to the kitchen, for example, and you really want something. The other one is sitting down, maybe watching telly or something of a sort, and the partner who is standing is going towards the kitchen. And you really want maybe a glass of water or like a beer or just a drink. But you're almost like, you wouldn't think about asking, but you're like, bring along a beer, bring along the drink. But you're like, those magic words like are missing in the statement. Like almost, hey, and yet to a friend, you'd be like, hey, do you mind bringing me a glass of water? Hey, do you mind just bringing along like, beer or something of a sort? I'm sorry, I'm using probably alcohol as the word, maybe that it's not allowed, but anyway, alcohol is harmful for your health. But anyway, just a scenario, trying to create different scenarios for you to just imagine like what happens in some of the houses or something of the sort. And so you wonder, like at the beginning, you remember how when the relationship was, they're like, hey honey, would you like something from the kitchen? Hey sweetheart, would you like some tea? But along the years, like it kind of stops. So these are some of the small practices. You're like, just putting those magic words into the statement, like the way you treat now a friend. So this is the secret, literally. Like how you treat your friend is the same way you need to treat your partner. Making them know that you value them. Like, when you don't want to lose a friend, you will make sure you're like respectful. You're almost mindful of what they think. You're mindful of what they need or what they want. Yet, they're not the people who are living with you. The person who is living with you, the partner that you have chosen, he or she is the person you're supposed to be treating this way. Don't you just agree? It may sound silly to say like, hey, using magic words, the 3 powerful magic words, please, thank you, excuse me, but we still find it silly or like simple as words. But how come we just don't use them? How come we don't practice them all the time? And why aren't you treating your partner like a friend? Like, because if you treated them like a friend, then you're almost mindful every single time not to want to hurt them. You go out, like let's say when you're living maybe with a roommate or something of a sort, you almost will always like let them know like, hey, I won't be coming home tonight, or I'm going out for a party, or I'll be running late, so don't wait up, or don't wonder like where I am. But if it's your partner, how come you will forget to tell them? Or you buy something that is way out of hand, and you know very well you kind of need to just do cross-checking together or something of a sort. This is part of just daily runnings that make those such small strains just to get out of the way. Make sure that the relationship is bountiful, that it's pleasant for everybody, and so that we're just not running everything as though, oh, it's normal, oh, he doesn't care, he doesn't mind, or she doesn't mind. But guess what, it really sometimes does hurt. And just even telling them like, hey, I really like it the way you cook, hey, I really like it the way you prepared this for us. It's really nice, it's really kind of you. Or, hey honey, I love the way you prepared the clothes, I love the way you make sure that everybody's looking elegant or clean in the house, and everything is always set and everything. Oh, I really appreciate how you actually just do shopping. We come in the house and the food is always ready, everything is always prepared and everything. But how many women never get complimented, or how many men never get complimented like, hey honey, thank you so much, we actually had an amazing holiday, or something of a sort. And even if it's the lady who's paying for everything and all, how many times do partners take the time to use those magic words? Because you are simply not treating your partner like your friend. But if you treated them like your best friend, if you treated them like that precious friend that you don't ever want to lose, like if you joke about some things and everything together, it brings in the fun. So it's literally just seeing how you treat your friends. Ask yourself, are they worth more valuable than the person you're spending like all your life with, literally? I know those two spaces need to be like differentiated and everything, but I honestly believe this secret of treating your partner like your best friend is what maintains the relationship, that keeps it running longer. Because at the beginning, everything is that wonderful, as I keep saying, and all that, but once children come in, monotony hits in, and the daily runnings and errands of the day just creep in. Well, that if you treated them like your best friend, you're able to find things to talk about, you're able to find different conversations, or you can actually literally talk about anything. Like there's nothing that you wouldn't be able to want to hide or something of a sort, because then you're able to just make every day sound fun, sound interesting. So if you can try and practice this, I'm guaranteeing you that you will make it more enjoyable for your relationship. You will make the marriage last a little bit longer, and you would want to almost, there's this way, like let's say when you're in a party, for example, and the entire world is all around, but you're capable of being in a corner and you're telling each other stories, or you're capable of laughing out about some things, that it's just a connection between the two of you, and the whole world is surrounding you, but just the two of you feel like almost like the center of the world. And so if you can treat your partner this way, if you can make them feel like they are now the center of your world, trust me that you will make things so much easier. You will make the relationship like just glow, have that natural glow, that it doesn't feel forceful at all. That those friends who you're so naturally with, like you can laugh and talk for hours. If you don't see your partner and like you are communicating every single day, you're capable of staying for hours on phone and maybe we talked about anything or everything, trust me, if you can just put in place this simple practice of treating them like a best friend, using the 3 magic words like, hey, excuse me, sorry honey, thank you, I appreciate you, or excuse me, trust me, it's going to work magic. I don't want to repeat myself too much and everything, but many people treat this as just such simple words, such simple things, but they do not practice it. So if you are listening to me, perhaps you were meant to listen to this, and that if you can just treat your partner like your best friend, you will go so far away. And perhaps you can share with me if probably it has been happening or not, or some of just the scenarios that I presented, if any looked like sounded funny or familiar. Like, don't hesitate to share out. I mean, this is the fun of being able to communicate and share ideas that can make us all go further, because it's not just me sharing my world and everything. It's not me who is the center here. It's just trying to make sure that we are taking all relationships to the furthest end, so that we can all be happy. I love it when I see these old couples holding hands, being in love together, capable of looking at each other in their eyes, and my goodness, it just makes me feel like, oh wow, I want to be there one day. I want to get there when you can grow old together as friends, and just, you know, finish the journey along the way together, because it feels magical, doesn't it? Right? So put strain away, make them just feel like your best friend, and it will work magic. I hope that you have found this helpful, and that you're going to put it into practice, and that you can be able to just share with me if any of the three secrets so far have helped, or you trying to put them in practice, and if any is working. I'd love to hear about it, because then there's no point of me sharing all this if it's not touching anyone, or if it's not impacting anyone. Don't you agree? I want to be here for you, and I will continue sharing on love and relationships every Friday. So don't forget to check in. So don't forget to subscribe and put the bell on, so that you can be able to listen to the fourth secret that is coming next week. Okay? Other than that, don't forget to leave love, laugh, and learn. Okay? Bye-bye.